everyone, I'm Bianca from Dancesport Live. We're here at Dance Masters Grand Slam, the first Grand Slam of the year. Next to me I have Evgeny Moshenin and Dana Spitsyna. They are ranked 4th in the WDSF Adult Standard ranking system, and last night we watched them perform beautifully as they won the 3rd place in the final. Congratulations, guys! You were simply amazing, and such a delight to watch you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. How are you? Was it the first time dancing at Dance Masters, or not really?
Together it was first time, but I was dancing with 2 previous partners here in Dance Masters.
In Dance Masters, okay. And you have been dancing in Romania before, I think.
Yeah, but not on this competition.
Okay. And it was okay? The audience was alright?
Super.
Yeah, actually I was surprised that there were so many people and they were so supportive. You know, it really helps when you get the energy from the people.
Yeah, well, it's a novelty for the Romanian audience as well, because it's the first Grand Slam that we have in history, and maybe that's why we were so happy to have the first Grand Slam. Anyhow, I just want to find out a bit more about your background, like how you started dancing and how you started dancing together. Just walk me through a bit of your history.
You start because it's short.
So we started to dance like 3.5 years ago. At that time I just split it with my ex-partner, and I was searching for a new partner, and I was already honestly desperate to find somebody, because you know how difficult it is in our dancing world. So then Evgeny just wrote to me like if I want to make a tryout, and of course I was very happy because he's quite good boy, let's say like this, and we made this tryout.
And how was it, the first tryout? Was it difficult? How was it?
It was difficult and was not amazing, because before I was dancing with my wife, and she's much taller than Dana, so I was used to dance with a taller girl, so we was looking like father and daughter on the tryout.
Yeah, and also we were dancing in quite different styles, and so on this first meeting we didn't match because I was from one dancing school, Evgeny was from another dancing school.
That's interesting. And how did you manage to create the balance between your different style of dancing, or you haven't? You just left it like that? And
of course, we tried to find balance. We went to Dana's teacher and to my teachers, and they tried to help us to combine both styles. So I think it works now quite good.
Yes, indeed.
And of course, time helps a lot when you just find the ways to dance with each other.
And you get used to each other in the end.
Sure.
Yeah. And how about you, Evgeny? How did you start dancing?
I started to dance when I was 7 years old. My career is quite long already. Before to dance with Dana, I was dancing with my wife in professionals. So I was dancing ED, and then I come back to amateurs when I started to dance with Dana. And about tryouts, you know already.
Is it very different to dance in PT and then go back to amateur? Do you have to switch a bit the style, or no?
I think yes, it's much different, because at the moment now the amateur is like the highest league in dancing, but supposed to be opposite.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in the professional division was quite sad to dance, since competitions was quite small. I mean, the quantity of couples was like semi-final, quarter-final maximum.
Yeah.
And on the German Open was 96. So all the other competitions was like quite short, and was not many people. So it was so I feel much more excited now to dance in amateurs.
And do you think you're gonna ever make the change again to professional?
The moment I don't think about it, so I'm focused on the present. Yes.
Good. And please tell me, what do you think is the most important thing at a dance couple? Like when you see a dance couple, what do you want to see in that dance couple? Is it more artistry? Is it more athletic? What is it?
I think it's never just one point. For me, it's like the mix of all the things. If you're just like athlete, but you don't have this artistic side, then it will be boring to watch for sure. And if you're just artist and don't have this physical preparation, for example, you just cannot perform at this level, because on the competitions, we have quite long music, and you need to be able to dance like 2 minutes. So you need to somehow do both of these sides.
And do you have special training for increasing your stamina or something like that? Can you give me some examples of trainings that you have besides normal dancing sessions?
We're doing a little bit gym,
yeah,
stretching, and dancing side, and of course stamina. Maybe to dance 5 dances in a row this week.
After our main practice, we have some workout exercises for core, for legs, and some stretching.
Great. And in terms of recovery, do you have any special tips and tricks or things that you do to recover from an important competition like a Grand Slam or a championship?
You mean after?
Yeah, after, like recover from it.
Our Russian National Federation now is getting much better, and once after the Grand Slam in Russia, they did a recovering camp in the mountains.
Wow.
On the south of Russia with all the machines. So we felt really professional athletes, and yes, so it was quite nice experience. But unfortunately, everyone knows that the dancers have to earn also some money. And after the big starts, after the big competition, we normally recovering by teaching.
So you take a break from dancing and you just speak and show.
But luckily we have a doctor of our national team, and wherever we want, we can go to this doctor and do some procedures and stuff like this, massage, to recover from the competition.
Did you ever have some injuries or something like that?
Me, no.
Sometimes we have some stretch injuries.
But
nothing serious.
Great, amazing. That's always good news. Hopefully it will be like that. I'm also curious to find out a bit more of your idols. Let's say, like when you think, oh, my goal is to be as great as, who would that be?
When I was a young guy, my idol was Mirko Gozzoli, but now as I'm trying to get to the top, I'm trying to don't have the idols.
Yeah.
Don't say too much.
No, it's true, because you want to be yourself and not to copy someone. But, yeah, okay. And for you?
Nearly the same. I'm watching quite a lot of videos of different dancers, and I'm trying to pick just some points of the woman that I admire, for example, but not trying to be very focused on just one person, because there is always a risk to start to copy.
Yeah. And what are the points that you cherish in a lady, Dana?
Some artistic moments, because I like to see when girls express how they feel on the floor, and in ballroom we sometimes don't see this point.
It's more difficult rather than in Latin.
Yeah.
It's true. Actually, we have a question from our audience regarding that. They are curious to see how you guys manage to combine so beautifully the artistic side and the athletic and sharp part of Dancesport standard on the dance floor in a competition, because that's always a thing that it's difficult to do, and you do it beautifully. And how do you do that? How do you combine artistic side and athletic, sharp?
It's really difficult, and that is what we are working on actually, because sometimes you work more on physical part of the dancing, and then you get the feedback that it's too physical, you know, you need to add some musicality to be more artistic. Then you're trying to work on artistic part, and they say, oh, you know, you're not so athlete anymore.
Yeah, so it's always like this.
It's like a balance. You need to work on both.
And in terms of communication as a partnership, how do you discuss? How do you get through bad moments? And
now your turn.
So the last period is much better, and it's also like that always. So sometimes when we are getting so much into preparation to particular competition, is normally better. But if we have a break and we start to try to find something new, to go a little bit deeper in the technique, and that is the moments when we start to argue a little bit, and of course it's difficult. It's one of the difficult parts in dancing, that we are two people which have to communicate and find the way to communicate.
And do you think the personality that you have in real life affects the way you dance, like influences the way you dance? Like, for example, let's say you are passionate and you dance passionate, or you're more of a romantic person and you dance more romantically. Does it affect, or are you a completely different person in real life rather than on the dance floor?
I think it definitely affects, but not all the time you can see it on the floor. For example, if the person is passionate, doesn't mean that he will be passionate on the floor. Sometimes it's not visible, but I think in the ideal world, when you perform, you should show your personality. Otherwise, why are you dancing?
Yeah, exactly. Do you agree?
Some people say, we have one of our teachers, Ruth Vermeij. He says nobody cares how do you feel inside. You have to play, you have to act. So I think it depends the person who feels, because if you are like a person who is not very secure,
confident,
not so confident, yes, you don't have to bring it to the floor, so you have to act like you're confident. So I think it's a personal thing. For everyone it's different.
Definitely dancers are very good at faking confidence.
Yes.
That's for sure. I can confirm that. Oh God. I'm also curious, because we did some short interviews during the competition yesterday, and there were some interesting questions in those short interviews. What is the thing that you love the most at your dance partner?
That I love the most?
Yes.
I love the flexibility, the femininity of dance.
And for you, Dana?
I think that in Venia we have a very good combination of an intelligent man, and at the same time he can be very funny and like positive and charismatic. Yeah, and I think that's great, and you never get bored like this.
And one last question. Do you have any secret talents besides dancing?
Once, a few years ago, someone in an interview asked me about my hobbies, and actually don't have it. So, and I say it's fishing, but I was fishing just twice in my life.
So not anymore. It was okay back then, but not now. Okay. And for you,
I don't know if that's a talent. I don't think it's a talent. But my hobby, like my second passion, is like marketing, and I have a dancewear brand, and I spend a lot of time in this sphere also, and that's also my hobby and the thing that I love to do.
Can you tell us a bit more about your dance brand, so we can add on as a link in the description of the...
So I have a dancewear brand. The name is Danza. I established it like 1.5 years ago, and it turned out very successful. We have like nearly 40 countries where we already delivered the stuff, and I really like to do this. The main like theme of this brand is like I do stylish but comfortable clothing for women and men. That's all.
Great, amazing. So I guess you have Instagram, Facebook, and I can link it.
Sure.
Sure, amazing. Thank you so much.
I think she's really talented in the marketing and in all these designers.
That's so sweet. Yeah, I bet. I mean, it's nice to have other hobbies and hidden talents and things that make you grow even more. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. Once again, my very warm congratulations for last night. You were amazing.
Thank you.
And such a fun couple to watch on a dance floor. Especially coming from a Latin girl, because I never did dance standard, and last night I was like, oh, I like them. Yeah, so thank you.
Nice to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.